Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today's password for today's attendance, the link is still the same. The password is Ar-Rahman. Okay, the password is Ar-Rahman. So write down the correct password in the attendance. Okay. Okay. Actually, I just uploaded the rubric for portfolio. I'm going to add now the template for portfolio in the Google Classroom. So, all right. So how's your project going? Is it going well? I didn't receive any letter. You know, some of you need to ask permission, but I didn't get any letter from anybody. Have you started or not yet your project? Because to get permission is a very important part of ethics. To go to the right channel is a very important part of ethics. So, but I haven't received any letter, like draft letter from any of the group. So have you started your project or not yet? Even if you're doing with the school, although verbally they say okay, still ethically, right? You're supposed to write a formal letter to them requesting what you're going to do, and they should reply, and you should keep the reply and put in your portfolio. And the date is important. So if you started first, then you get the permission. It shows that you are not ethical. Then why should you pass the project when you're not ethical, when you're not doing it properly? Okay, so which means that it's important to go through the process and identify your stakeholder. Do you understand what is stakeholder? Anybody doesn't understand what stakeholder means?
I do not know.
So only you don't know, the rest of you know? Okay, I will ask others to answer it to you. Shafiqah, can you explain what stakeholder to Abdul Rahman? Shafiqah Nabila, you there?
Yes, yes, madam.
Yes, what is a stakeholder?
I think what I understand is the main person that hold the interest to do something.
Can you repeat that again? Abdul Rahman, see if you understand or not. If you don't understand, ask her question.
I cannot hear.
The main person that want to do something, collaborate with others.
Do you understand, Abdul Rahman?
Yes, madam.
What do you understand?
The leader, if you want to do something with others, the main person, if you want to do something with others.
Is that correct, Alif? Haziq, do you agree with the definition of stakeholder?
What I understand is all.
No, first I ask you, do you agree or not?
Yes.
Okay, so you agree?
Yes.
Kata semua orang faham. Najwa, do you agree with them?
Yes.
Where do you get your definition of stakeholder? Najwa?
I think it's like the previous project, like IDP we do, we assume that stakeholder is that kind.
Boleh dengar ke Amirul?
Tak dengar.
I mean like the definition that is from the IDP project we do or the previous project we do. So we assume that the stakeholder is that.
Okay, anybody wants to add to the definition or everybody agree with the definition? So everybody agree? Okay. I'm not saying the definition is wrong. So basically you're saying anything that you want to collaborate. Yes. Yes, and also there's addition. Anybody that you will be involved with, or parties that you need to collaborate, parties that you be involved with, parties which they will benefit from your project, also called stakeholder. Right? For example, you do a project with with sekolah, but this so sekolah is one of the stakeholder, but the students are also your stakeholder, although they're not involved in the planning, right? They just receive. So you do with the school. So stakeholder is also with the students. But the latter, in order for you to go ahead. So when a good project is when all the stakeholders are happy when you finish the project. It means the school are happy, you are happy, and also the students are happy. So do you check whether the students are happy or not? So for example, in IIUM, who are our stakeholder? So our stakeholder will be anybody?
The principal.
Principal of the mahallah, you mean? Okay. Who else?
Students.
Students. Who else? Who else?
Depends stakeholder.
Apa Iqbal?
Maybe staff member, student.
Yes, staff member, student, you say principal. Who else? Our stakeholder is also the government. Why? Because the government is paying the money, right? And so that's the stakeholder. The stakeholder also the country, rakyat, because they're using the taxpayers' money to pay to the university. So they are also the people is also our stakeholder. So you need to think carefully. Who are your stakeholder for your project, and use the right line of command to do it. So make sure I will check the date and everything there. So you must go to the flow with the right flow. If you're not sure, ask. Don't keep quiet. Okay, but if you have, because I know many of you compulsory to get the letter of approval from other parties, but until now I haven't received. It's either you didn't do the project yet, which you'll be in trouble, or you haven't done anything. You haven't done it, or you have done it but you didn't go to the right process. Okay, so if you haven't done that, that's the first thing you should do. Get the permission. Okay, even in that's a lesson in life as well. If you want to do something legally, you need to get the permission, unless you want to do it illegally. Illegally is not part of ethics. In ethics, everything should be legal, and also in line with what in Sharia. Sometimes you say it's in line with Sharia, but it's not legal because you're not going to Malaysia have its own rules. IIM has its own rules. So we have to follow the legal rules of the country or the place that we are there. Okay, so that's a reminder for everybody. So look at that. I have shared in the Google Classroom the rubric of the portfolio and also the template. So I hope you learn from the mistake of your proposal. So I will remind you again, if you want good results, look at the rubric carefully and also the template. Not everything in the template is covered in the rubric. If in the rubric there are some, some element in the rubric which are not put in the template, you are supposed to put it somewhere. You need to tick to which region, which part you need to put it. Okay. Any question? Anybody has any question? So this is the rubric, the template for the portfolio. So you can put there the project name, and then you don't need this. You know why we put this bracket there? It means that you put, so you can remove this, because some students they keep this symbol there. It shouldn't be there. And you can put the photo of to what do you call it, to explain your project, one big photo over here. So here's the pages, as I mentioned, is not comprehensive. This is just a template which you can add on. If you want to modify, it's fine. Make sure all the elements are there. Okay. So if anything not clear in the portfolio, you can ask me. So if you look here, the elements in the template is not directly linked with the rubric. So you are supposed to link them. Okay. What else? So you can just read this. So one of the stakeholder management. So you need to hear, when you take stakeholder management, then you need to write down what have you done in the process of engaging with the stakeholder. Do you have a meeting with them? Do you have a email with them? Do you have a letter with them? Everything need to put here. Portfolio is like your comprehensive. It's like a diary of your project. Diary plus report. It's a diary plus report. So you're supposed to tell whatever you have done in the portfolio. Okay, I think many lose marks because here, prepared by, okay, it depends. So who do you think should approve the portfolio? So I think it should be prepared by the secretary, approved by the leader, right? Then you submit to me. If you leave this empty, then you send to me something which is empty. It's not complete, your portfolio. Okay, any question? Yeah.
I actually have question regarding the permission letter. Like, do we have
what matter?
Permission letter, like to do a project?
Okay.
Do we have to write a letter and then we get your sign as like a supporting lecturer, or like you? I have to request from you and you can provide us a letter.
No, you draft the letter. You sign the letter. I will just comment there. I support this project.
Okay, thank you.
Or I said that I don't support, or normally I would say go and improve the English first, because then I will not allow you to give to outside if the English is bad. Okay?
Okay, that's understood. Thank you.
Welcome, Amira. Any more question? So honestly, have you started your project yet? Adila? Christina?
Actually, I have bought some item for my project this week. So we start by this week.
Week 7. Is it week 6 or 7 now?
6.
6, okay. Mutakim, have you started?
We buy the product first.
Buy the product first. Okay, so you just started by. So what if, so okay, brothers and sisters, what if, so maybe you have a verbal, they say, okay, if you don't have a verbal, let's say you started the project and then suddenly the principal say no, then you'll be in trouble, you buy the product and everything. So that's why it's good to get a permission first, and then the better is get the, black and white. Everything in, to make it legal, everything have to be black and white. And this is very, very, very important. Later when you work as an engineer, right? If somebody asks you to do something and then it's fishy, especially if it's fishy or something, or the responsibility is big. So then, or sometimes something big, you need to have it recorded somewhere. So if it's verbal, that's actually the most difficult part. When I was in MIMOS, when I was there for 6 months under this program called CEO at faculty, whereby selected lecturers are being placed in industry to learn from the CEO on leadership and management. So one thing I learned over there, which I will